Hello and good afternoon, members, and welcome to this meeting of the Kakubri Common Good Subcommittee. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded and will be made available for viewing through our Council's website. Members may notice that when calling members to speak, I will refer to them formally and using their title, e.g. Councillor Smith, so that it's clear who are councillors and who, by the process of elimination, are officers. Remote participants, please follow the good practice guidance, which includes muting microphones and switching off your video when you are not addressing the meeting. Writing speak in the Teams chat function when you want to contribute. Please don't repeat contributions already made by other members. No material should be posted in the chat function if it is intended as part of the discussion. The usual standing orders apply, including that any votes will be undertaken by roll call. If any member has to leave the meeting, please either leave the Teams meeting for that period of time or write leave in the Teams chat function and then join when you rejoin the meeting so we can keep a track on whether the meeting is quorate. All members should speak clearly, taking their time and speaking directly to the microphone when making contributions. When referring to reports, please provide reference to the relevant page and paragraph to allow everyone to follow. Please focus contributors on areas where clarification is required or to propose an alternative to a recommendation. Item 1, Sedran apologies and Chair's approval of members' remote participation. Ingrid, can you provide the Sedran indicating who is participating remotely and any apologies, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So we have 3 members present today. We have in the room the Chair, Councillor Dennerley and Councillor McFarlane, and we have Councillor Campbell joining us today online, and we also have our community representative, Lindsay Forbes, in the room today as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 2, declarations of interest. Do members have any statement of connection or declaration of interest to declare based on the definition? Statement of connection. For transparency reasons, members may wish to make a public statement. Declaration of interest, members would now require to leave the meeting for that item. Item 3, minute of previous meeting of Wednesday the 20th of March 2024 for approval. Are members happy to approve? Thank you, Councillor McFarlane. Councillor Campbell, thank you. Item 4, applications for financial assistance from Kakubri Common Good Fund, report by Head of Thriving Communities. Our report today asks members to consider applications for financial assistance from Kakubri 2000, Kakubri Forum, and Kakubri Chamber of Commerce. Kakubri 2000 requesting £5,000 of funding from Kakubri Common Good Fund Subcommittee to support the Eye to Eye exhibition by Sir Henry Rayburn in Kakubri Galleries. Kakubri Forum are requesting £3,000 from Kakubri Common Good Fund Subcommittee to fund the production and distribution of the tourist leaflet What's On in Kakubri from spring through to the festive season 2024. And Kakubri Forum are also requesting £2,000 of funding to support the secretarial and admin services of the forum for 2024. Kakubri Chamber of Commerce are requesting £8,276.98 to contribute towards the purchase, repair and installation of Christmas motifs and lights in the town to promote a successful Christmas trading season. Ward Manager Ingrid Gemmell is here to speak to the report. Ingrid, do you have anything further to add?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, so I can confirm you'll see in the report on pages 18 and 19 that it does say that I will be providing a verbal update. Sorry, 17 and 19, I will be providing a verbal update regarding 2 of the applications. So in terms of Kakubri Forum's application, we did seek further information regarding the secretarial and admin services for the forum and the support that's been requested there for £2,000. You'll see within the summary that I have said that clarification was required because we were looking to see whether that actually sat well with the criteria. So that members will need to decide whether what is being asked for confirms with that. And I can just give a bit more detail around that, what that is. So that's around meeting the cost of the community meeting room for 11 months. It's around providing other services, including minutes, etc. It's around maintenance for the website, for sundry items, and increase to cover the forum costs through to the 30th of June this year. So as I say, that is some further information that we have received from the Kirkcudbright Forum around that £2,000 element. And then I can also confirm that we have had a full breakdown of the costs for the money that's been requested from Chamber of Commerce around the Christmas lights, etc. So just to make sure that members are aware that that has been received. Thank you.
Thank you, Ingrid. Members, do you have any comments or questions? Councillor McFarlane.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I had a concern in relation to that £2,000 for the forum as well. I note that they've got almost £5,000 of money available ordinarily. And I still have a little bit of a concern around that £2,000. Cost of a meeting room, admin, etc., and web maintenance, because obviously they will maintain their web presence in any case. But I think I'm interested to understand if this is to replace the one that summer festivities ordinarily normally put a what's on type leaflet, and I'm wondering if this is an alternative or if it will still be doing that, and if so, why we're doing it through the forum. Thanks.
Ingrid, are you able to answer that question?
Yeah, so it's my understanding, and maybe our community representative can help us with this today, but it's my understanding that this is the Kirkcudbright What's On that's produced year on year and has been done for a number of years, and that the Common Good has supported over a period of time.
Councillor McFarlane.
Yeah, thanks, Ingrid. My understanding was that that was done through summer festivities, and we obviously support them in a number of occasions as well. So I'm just conscious that we don't offer up money on more than one occasion for the same item. Thanks.
And Lindsay Forbes.
Can you hear me? Kirkcudbright Forum, in fact, since its inception, has created and produced the What's On leaflet in Kirkcudbright. And something happened, I haven't got the figures or the accounts with me, something happened during COVID about that, but we've resumed or undertaken to carry out what Kirkcudbright Forum is about, which is promoting Kirkcudbright. And that is why we have done that. It used to be funded in part by a grant from Dumfries and Galloway Council, in part 1/3 by advertising, and if I'm correct, 1/3 from the Common Good Fund. We get no assistance now from Dumfries and Galloway Council towards promoting Kirkcudbright through the forum. Hence, we have made the application. But Kirkcudbright Forum is also responsible for maintaining the banners and signage that has been put up in Kirkcudbright, so we do need a reserve for that. And just for the clarification of interest, it was me who prepared the figures that you got, Ingrid, as Treasurer, and I replied to Sam Ray by letter about that. Okay, I hope that clarifies matters for Councillor McFarlane.
Are there any further comments regarding Lindsay Forbes' answer? Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Chair. Just building on the comments that Mr Forbes made just now, I'm looking at the eligibility criteria and the monitoring of awards, and at 4.4 it says that applicants will be encouraged to become self-sustaining over time to avoid becoming overly dependent on Kirkcudbright Common Good funds. I think it would have been helpful if we had a breakdown of awards against matched against the ability of the organisation's sustainability moving forward. But we don't have that today. Is this something that can be readily provided, Ingrid?
Ingrid?
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. It's not something that I would have at hand today. Depending on what members' decisions are, it's certainly something that could be brought back to members for information.
Councillor Campbell, did you want to respond?
Yeah, just to come back in there. I mean, Mr Forbes mentioned that there's less money coming from Dumfries and Galloway Council, and we know why that is in terms of the austerity project since the late 2000s, and the Common Good Fund is stretched as well in terms of available free income. So I think the sustainability element is important. I'd be happy to take the views of my fellow councillors on this, but I just feel we've reached a point where we need to be scrutinising a bit more detail the financial circumstances behind individual groups or organisations that apply for funding. I think we should be supportive of them, but I think also we need to be more transparent in relation to the sustainability criteria. But I'd be interested to hear John and Andy's thoughts on this.
Okay, if I could respond as chair. Thank you, Councillor Campbell. I think those points are valid, and I have similar thoughts to you that further scoping into the funding that has been made could be collated and allow councillors to have a much broader understanding of the monies given over a period of time, and to look at how organisations can become more sustainable rather than relying now and in the future on the funds that we offer. So in terms of these three applications that we've received, we have the figures attached to them. Councillor Campbell, are you wanting to support these requests?
Could maybe Councillor McFarlane come in just to get a clear idea of where the three of us sit on this?
Okay, Councillor McFarlane.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, like yourself, I mean, the reason I raised the issue about is this replacing or is it supporting the existing one, getting the clarification from Mr Forbes was helpful. I'm very keen to make sure that we don't continue just to prop up a certain number of organisations, but at the same time, like yourself, I think it's important that we do help support the communities, and if there is something there that we can do to help them become self-sustaining, I think that's the way forward. But they shouldn't become reliant upon us, because we're not always going to be able to support them in certain circumstances.
Thank you. Lindsay Forbes.
Thank you. I'm afraid, councillors or trustees, I take slight issue with you regarding your view of Kirkcudbright Forum. If I'm correct, Kirkcudbright Forum constitution has you ex officio as members, officers of Kirkcudbright Forum. But Kirkcudbright Forum exists purely to promote Kirkcudbright, and to that end we have in the past produced the signage for Kirkcudbright. We have always received help from the Common Good Fund or a Dumfries and Galloway Council. Obtaining and getting volunteers to carry out any work other than coming to meetings is extremely difficult. Kirkcudbright Forum, however, manages and runs the website kirkcudbright.town. We have designed and owned the Kirkcudbright sign, and Kirkcudbright Forum is responsible for the signage and certain banners in the town. If we do not get support as we have asked for, then I fear that it might be the case that Kirkcudbright Forum will cease to exist, and that Kirkcudbright Forum as a SKIO may have to resort to asking the Office of the Scottish Charity Regulator for consent to wind up.
Thank you. Any further comments? Councillor McFarlane?
Yeah, thank you again, Chair. Perhaps a question directly for Mr Forbes is I've just opened up the Kirkcudbright Forum website, and I see that the meetings are held at Selkirk Arms Hotel, and I'm wondering if that's the most cost-efficient way of conducting your meetings when we have the Development Trust in the town, which I would imagine would be a less expensive option and perhaps would help offset some of the costs.
I'm interrupting deliberately because that is not where we meet. We have been meeting in the Johnson ever since the Johnson opened up, and the costs involved relate to the Johnson and the Development Trust. We do not meet at the Selkirk Arms. If that is on the website, then that must be corrected at once.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments? Councillor Campbell?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I think we need to, for future meetings, to have a clearer understanding of the efforts for applicants to be sustainable and self-sufficient in terms of fundraising, but recognising that the Common Good Fund is for the benefit of the whole of Kirkcudbright, and that includes other organisations. So I think the sustainability factor is an important one. I'm not going to insist that this gets in the way of the decisions that we make today on the three applications, but I think we need to have more detailed information on the sort of past history of any particular organisation, Kirkcudbright Forum, Chamber of Commerce, or whoever it might be, to see if they are making strides to be more sustainable, and for that to help us make our decisions on who should or shouldn't, or to what degree we financially support individual organisations. And I think that's something as trustees we can perhaps take forward off table prior to the next meeting. But as I say, I'm not going to let it get in the way of the decisions that we choose to make today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. We'll make a note of your comments. Councillor McFarlane and then Ingrid.
Yeah, thank you again, Chair. Yeah, still on the Kirkcudbright Forum website, that one of the reasons for the additional £2,000 was to get that up to date, and I think that's clearly needed, as the last entry was January 2020. What I would ask is that if we do support this application, that we ask for a report, say in about 3 months or so, to update us on how that has been utilised and progressed, in order that we can see that it has been beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McFarlane. Ingrid, did you want to add a point?
Yes, thank you, Chair. It's just to say that during your conversation, I've had an opportunity to look back to see where the last element of funding went to Kirkcudbright Forum, and it looks like they were last awarded £8,000 for the Festival of Light in 2020. So that will be 4 years ago since they were the last received an award from this area committee, from this Common Goods Committee. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Ingrid.
That is factually correct.
Good, fine. Moving on then, if we may, move to recommendations. Members are asked to, 1, note that the forecasted free income balance of £26,000 is available for disbursement in 2024 to 25. Sorry, Councillor McFarlane.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Chair. Are we making a decision on all three, or are we going to look at each one individually? Because I do have additional comments in case, in reference to one of the other ones. Are we agreeing them as a whole or individually?
We can, if you have a comment, we can go through them individually. Okay,
thanks. In relation to the Kirkcudbright, not forum, that's that one. I'm supportive of the application number 2, the Kirkcudbright 2000. In relation to the final one, question is in relation to what proportion of the overall cost is being sought in relation to this, and why have no other sources of funding been explored?
Ingrid?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So this application is asking for 100% of the required costings for the installation of the Christmas lights and motifs and Christmas trees for 2024. You'll see on page 19 and the summary document there that it does say that that full amount has been requested and that no other sources of funding have been explored on this occasion.
Okay, as Chair, I'll just make a comment. I think it's important for us to make sure that the third application do think about future planning and sustainability, and to look at other sources of funding and not to rely purely on the Common Good Fund. As Councillor Campbell has already stated, we need to be able to look at these applications and when they apply, be sure that we're not just giving funding to the same organisations. And so we do need to encourage these organisations to look at alternative sources of funding and perhaps look at our criteria that we do consider whether or not 100% contributions are the right approach in the future. Lindsay Forbes.
Thank you. As far as I can remember, Community Council is concerned that there doesn't appear to be any statement of accounts prepared by a Kirkcudbright Chamber of Commerce. I have to declare an interest in this, in that I used to examine the accounts of Kirkcudbright Chamber of Commerce. The last accounts that I examined were, I think, 2017. I haven't seen anything since then. They may have another examiner, I've no knowledge, but the Community Council has not seen any accounts, nor I suspect has Dumfries and Galloway Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Ingrid?
Thank you, Chair. So I can confirm that this application has been brought forward today because it is fully compliant, and in order to be fully compliant, the organisation does have to provide us with their most recent audited accounts, so we do have them on file. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Councillor McFarlane?
Yeah, thank you. A question for Ingrid. I'm assuming they're a members' organisation, the Chamber of Commerce, and would be businesses around the town. That being the case, do they have any plans for income generation? Thanks.
Yes, through yourself, Chair. Yes, I can confirm that it is a member organisation. There is nothing in the application that we've had in front of us today that has given any detail around what they have done in terms of other funding, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Mr.
Lindsay
Chairman,
Forbes.
Chairman, thank you. Ingrid has just said that the Chamber of Commerce is fully compliant and that they have produced, and I use your word, audited accounts. Audit is a statutory term. Who has prepared audited accounts and signed them off?
Ingrid?
Thank you. I'm afraid I don't have that information in front of me at this moment in time, and I would need to check in terms of governance whether that would be permissible or not.
Are there any other final comments or questions before we move to recommendations?
I would draw you back to Kirkcudbright 2000 Limited application, where it says no other sources of funding have been explored. That is slightly not true. We have in fact raised, quite simply, a fortune to put on the exhibition of Sir Henry Raeburn through Dumfrieston Gallery Council Museums department in the Kirkcudbright Galleries. Some of the sponsorship has been quite simply staggering. Thank you.
That's important to note. Thank you for that comment. I think this brings us to the end of these discussions and these three applications. So we'll move to recommendations. And members are asked to, 1, note that the forecasted free income balance of £26,000 is available for disbursement in 2024-2025 financial year. 2, note the agreed grant criteria for funding is detailed at Appendix 1. And 3, consider and agree awards to the applicants as detailed in paragraph 4.12 and Appendix 2. Are members happy to agree the recommendations?
Can I just check with members? I'm not aware that there has been any discussion around whether the criteria has been met for the Kirkcudbright Forum £2,000 element of their application, and there hasn't been any figures mentioned in terms of what members would be comfortable in awarding to each of the organisations, and that would be useful in terms of the minute.
Okay. Noted. Moving to item 4. Or do we need further clarification, Ingrid?
Sorry, Chair. Yes, it's just so that we're really clear in the minute that, you know, if we take each of the applications and just detail exactly what members are agreeing in terms of an award, that would be really useful. Thank you.
Okay, can I ask members and Mr. Forbes the question that Ingrid has put forward, and that is agreeing the amounts, approving the amounts that have been requested. Is there agreement on the amounts requested? Councillor McFarlane?
Yes, I'm happy to go along with what's been requested on this occasion. As I say, if we could put a condition of getting an update in relation to the forum, i.e. the website being updated and such like, so we can see that finance has been put to the right purposes. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Ingrid, are we okay to move forward to item 4?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. Just required some clarity. Thanks very much, members.
Thank you. Okay, item 4, and that is any other business deemed urgent by the chairman due to the need for a decision. I have no urgent business, so that concludes the meeting. Could I thank everybody for your contributions this afternoon?
Thank you, Chair.